Hey, what's up guys? This is my very first episode of how to make your own sword. This sword is going to be really simple. It's this sword I showed in the last video, and all you need is a couple tools and a stick. The very first thing you need to make this sword is a saw. The saw will be used for cutting down the tree, but you don't have to cut down the tree. You could just get a stick that's on the ground somewhere, and that would work great too. The stick you're going to use to make your sword should be about 1 inch thick like this one, and then gradually growing longer at the end. After you cut down the tree, take out a pocket knife or a whittling knife and shave off the bark off of the branch. So the first thing you do, take out your pocket knife or whittling knife, and you put your thumb on the dull side of the blade like this. Then you take the branch, and then you peel the bark off like this. And you keep doing that in long strokes until you've got all of it peeled off, like this. Once all the bark is shaved off, you still didn't get to the actual wood. There's still some green gunk right here, and you still need to shave that off until all of it's gone to get a nice white color to the stick. Once you finish shaving all of the bark and all the green stuff off, your stick should kind of look like this. The next step you have to do is sand the stick. The first grit you should use to sand your stick would probably be 60. You can see how high or low the texture is by this little number on the back. The lower numbers mean that it's very tough and hard, and then the higher numbers mean that it's softer and smoother, and you can get the stick more smooth. So why we're sanding the stick is so we can get it nice and smooth. So you keep going back and forth like this till all of the little splinters are off. And once all the little splinters are off, you can go ahead and use the 220 grit. Do the same thing you did with the lower grit and sand it until it's really smooth and feels really comfortable. Once you're all done sanding and it feels very comfortable, you can go ahead and cut it to length. This sword right here is probably 3.5 feet, so you can go ahead and cut it at 3.5 feet or whatever length you prefer. Once you're done cutting your stick to length, you can go ahead and use a table saw, which will be used to cut 45-degree angles on both ends of the sticks, like so. And once you're done cutting nice 45-degree angles on the ends of your stick, you can go find a spare board like this and cut the board to about 6 inches. You probably want to cut the board with a table saw, so you can go ahead and do that. And now once you're done cutting your board to size, you can go make more 45-degree angles on that board. Once you're all finished cutting your board, it should probably look something like this. Once you're done cutting the board, making 45-degree angles, take a measuring tape and measure 9 inches down on the thin end of the stick and make a little pencil mark there. Once you've made the pencil marking there, you can go ahead and try to figure out how thick the stick is at the pencil marking. Once you've figured out how thick the stick is at the pencil marking, you can take a drill bit kind of like this and fit the drill bit down the stick and see if it fits where the pencil marking is. Then after you've done that, you drill a hole with this bit into the center of the board right here. The first thing you do when you start to drill is get like some sort of clamp, like the ones right back on the wall. Then you can clamp it down. You gotta unscrew this and put it down here and screw it until it's tight against the board. When you've got everything finally clamped down, you can take your drill and start drilling. Whenever you start drilling, you always want to make sure that the drill bit will actually spin the right way. You want to put your elbow into it and then push hard down and then pull the trigger. Oops. Then you keep drilling until you finally get a full hole through the board. But for some reason I wasn't able to put this drill bit in, the correct drill bit, so I just did the example of this. But once you've poked a hole through the wood on the side that it went through, there's usually a rough spot right there, so you're going to want to get sandpaper and sand it out. Once you've drilled a hole through the board, once you've sanded it out, now you're ready to put the board onto the stick. Then once the board fits snugly with the stick, you can then take out the drill bit here, and then you can put this one in instead. Then you take 3 1-inch drywall screws like this one, and then you use them to screw it into the board. You always start drilling with holding the screw like this at the end of it, and then placing the screw on the board like this, and then carefully starting to drill it in. You drill it in like that, and then you take it out. This is pre-drilling, and you do it back in so it already has a hole to go into. And then you screw it in all the way. Then you need to screw the board into the other side of the stick. So then we'll do the same thing on this side. After you've drilled the board into the stick, then it should look something like this. Congratulations! You've just finished building the sword. Now all you need to do is paint it and decorate it. This spray paint is going to be used for the sword blade, and it kind of has a nice hammered look like it says right here, and it has a cool silver color like what that would normally be on sword blades. You're going to want to wear junk paint clothes to do this because it's very messy. Make sure to not get it on anything because it doesn't come out. Once you've let the spray paint dry, go ahead and spray it with this stuff. It's just like a clear sealer, and it makes it look nice and glossy, and it makes it look shiny. The next part is the really fun part, but you probably don't have the right tool to do it. And if you do have this tool, congratulations! It's a wood burning pen. And if you do have it, you're going to want to put the small attachment on like this that has a little rounded end. Now you can drill a hole. That was a toilet flusher.